Hello, true believers. It's time for another episode of Bad Cinema. This is not any episode of Bad Cinema. We are kicking off Halloween month a couple of days early because the October 1st is on Wednesday, but Bad Cinema is always on Monday. So we're going to start it off today with the 1986 film Chopping Mall. It's actually a Roger Corman production. We'll have more on that after I roll this beautiful intro footage.
I'm a hero, I'm for hire, I'm a seller, I'm a buyer. Conversations with me in the lounge as we scream. You know me, Matt Morgan, subject board, follow him. I'm the comic man. I'm the comic man.
A new intro courtesy of Freaky Louie, who will be my guest next week on Comic Conversations. But we are joined now with Grandpa Starstream, aka Comicverse or Tony, and Jean Malot, my favorite French Canadian. How you doing, sir? And we are talking, like I said, talking about Chopping Mall. Let's say hello to the chat here and see who showed up today. Well, Tony beat everybody here. Hello there. Hello there. I you know what you say when I hear you say hello there? I hear in my head Obi-Wan Kenobi and
that's the idea. That's the idea.
And we got Jean Malot is also our good friend Robert Pops Grant Springs. Hello, Heroes for Hire Comic Club, and everybody in the live chat. Always good to see you, Pops. We got also my friend from Texas, Nerdy Geek. What's up, homie? It's good to see you. And we got everybody saying hello to each other. So it's great to be here on this day. We're kicking off Halloween month here on the channel, and I'm excited about it. We got a Chopping Mall today, and but just a brief overview of what's coming up just before we start this. Here you go. We got a lot of good movies coming up this month. I looked up, and it looks like my future. I looked into my future, Tony, and I looked about 3 of these movies up, and apparently I am going to have to buy them or rent them digitally because they are not on any streaming service that I have. The ones in particular that are going to be a problem are Return of the Living Dead, Trick or Treat, and Poltergeist. For me, at least. I don't have the streaming services of their own. So
well,
anyway,
I might help you with the Poltergeist. We'll talk later.
Well, hook me up. We don't want to talk about that on the screen, but yeah, this is Chopping Mall. It is a techno horror thriller from 1986. It's produced by surprise, Roger Corman. You will see that's an ongoing theme on Bad Cinema, guys. Roger Corman produced films or directed films. Or in some way, like we did Star Crash a month ago. And it's like a direct ripoff of Star Wars. Roger Corman's like, we got to get something out there quick. The kids like space movies. So let's just throw something out there for like $5,000 or however much it costs. And we'll see what we can do. Right?
Yeah, but this is a lot different than Star Crash.
Oh, yeah. It's actually pretty interesting. You know, when I was a kid, this movie scared the shit out of me. Like, I was afraid of robots for like a year. And like these are like, to me, they almost remind me of Johnny Five from Short Circuit.
Yeah,
Johnny Five's evil cousin or something, or evil brother, twin brother, and they're just like killbots. And I tell you what, though, for 1986, these robots were pretty cool looking.
Oh yeah. I love the designs. They were pretty awesome.
And I think they spent most of their money on the design of the robots, of course, but. Actually, there's some funny backstories about this movie we'll get into. Like the owner of the mall was very keen on the movie being filmed in his mall, and that's kind of how this movie got started. The ball rolling on making this movie was they already had a location. Originally, the title of this film was called Killbots, but they changed it later to Chopping Mall. Yeah, exactly. That's what. See, it's exactly what I was saying. Nerdy Geek said when I saw this on Saturday afternoon, television when I was a kid, it was called Killbots. And that's another thing you'll run into, especially with bad cinema, not much as good cinema is. A lot of these movies have two different names.
Oh yeah.
Especially the foreign ones. Like if you have like the Hong Kong films, they'll be called one thing in Hong Kong, but in America or England or Great Britain or France, they'll be called something else.
Yeah, it's like like when you bring up the list talking about Trick or Treat. We'll discuss it when we talk about the movie.
Yeah,
but that had 3 different names.
Yeah, and we're going to look at some of the still shots here I had. It's got. Okay, I'm looking up. I can't remember her name all of a sudden. Let me find her name. Kelly Maroney. And you may recognize Kelly Maroney from a film that came out 2 years before this was released called Night of the Comet, which is a cult classic. She was the cheerleader. She was the little sister, although she's not that young. I mean, but back then, if you were in your mid-20s, you played a high schooler. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it was. Most of the time. You did have like actual teenagers like Anthony Michael Hall and others that did play, but most of the time, like Judd Nelson, he was like 25 years old when he filmed Breakfast Club. But anyway, you see these robots for some reason, Tony, and I don't understand why a mall security robot would be necessary for it to have a laser that could blow your head completely off, or to have plastic explosives. But apparently, they figured that maybe they may need plastic explosives and a laser that can just eviscerate somebody. So that's what we get in this movie. And another little bit of trivia, I found a screenshot from this too. The movie that they are watching in the furniture store is Attack of the 50-Foot Tarantula. You can see it on the screen in the movie. And that's it right there. That's a screenshot from that movie. So I just thought I'd throw that in here. That there's another horror movie or monster movie thrown into the mix of this movie. And you got a comment here, somebody. Yeah, Police Story 4 was called Super Cop. Samurai Cop had like 5 different names. And I can't wait to cover. We're going to do Samurai Cop in November. That movie is insane. By the way, but we're not here to talk about Samurai Cop. We're here to talk about Shopping Mall. I'll show some more still shots from the film. A lot of these other people, you got the one guy in it. This guy's the gum chewing jerk, cocky guy. He's going to get it. And it follows the same trope as most horror or slasher films, doesn't it, Tony? If you have premarital sex or get drunk or do drugs, you're going to die or do something nefarious. So the two that don't have sex, and apparently if you get shot in the leg, it means you can no longer move. Like that girl, that part's ridiculous too. Like she just sits there and lets the thing kill her instead of even trying to get out of the way. But that's horror movies for you. Here's apparently going for
a pack of cigarettes and get you killed too.
Yes. And if you know what, Tony, if she had only been happy with a pack of Camels instead of Virginia Slim, she'd have been all right.
Yeah.
So Virginia Slim.
Yeah, I don't understand why would anybody go to a shopping mall where there are robots that look like those that are security.
Well, they weren't really. The robots didn't really come out until after the store closed.
Yeah,
they were like there for like security, and they were supposed to oh yeah, we're going to protect. And they do like this demo video at the first of it. The first of it opens up and you don't know it at first, but there's like a guy that's broken into the mall and he's like shooting at. You'll see it in a minute. I'll play the clip, but we're going to share the Wikipedia page real quick. All right. I've started wondering if I should start doing the show late at night, but I don't know yet. All right, here we go. So we can get it to come up here. All right, Killbots. It said right here, it says Killbots redirects here. It's also called Killbot, of course. Chopping Mall is a 1986 American independent techno horror film, co-written and directed by John Wynorski, produced by Julia Corman, and starring Kelly Maroney, who, like I said, was in Night of the Comet, Tony O'Dell, John Terlesky, Russell Todd, Paul Bartel, Mary Woronov, and Barbara Crampton. I think I remember Barbara Crampton from several horror movies as well. It focuses on three high-tech security robots turning maniacal and killing teenage employees inside of a shopping mall after dark. And of course, what happens is there's a big electrical storm, lightning strikes, and it strikes the big master computer, and they go in and kill crazy killbots. The film was screen tested under the title Killbots by its distributor, Concord Pictures. After it performed poorly with test audiences, the film was retitled Chopping Mall, and approximately 19 minutes were excised from the movie. In the years since its release, Chopping Mall has gone on to develop a cult following and been subjected to film criticism for its perceived themes of human consumption, excess during the Reagan era in the United States. So it takes place at a place in the movie called Park Plaza Mall, who has just installed some state-of-the-art security robots, including the state-of-the-art shutters across all exits and three high-tech robots programmed to disable and apprehend thieves using tasers and tranquilizer guns. But Allison Parks and Susie Lynn, co-workers at the pizzeria, joined their prospective boyfriends, Ferdy, what a name, Ferdy and Greg, along with the other friends, couples, Rick and Linda, and Mike and Leslie, for an after-hours party in a furniture store where Mike, Greg, and Ferdy work. Once in the mall closes for the night, the couples begin to have sex, drink, party, and have drugs inside the furniture store. But you know what? I worked at a mall. Why didn't we ever think of that? All right. Outside, a lightning storm strikes the mall several times and damages the computer controlling protectors 1, 2, and 3. That's what the robots are called. Which malfunction and the kill technicians and a janitor before starting their routine patrol. And by the way, the guy that plays the janitor, if you don't recognize him, he was in Gremlins. He was the guy that drove the snowplow that gets killed. This guy's been in so many horror movies, and in every horror movie I've ever seen him in, he gets killed.
Yep. He did better with the Gremlins than he did with the robots.
So yeah, he's basically a red shirt.
And that movie I watched, do you remember the movie I reviewed a few, was it last month, Tony? It was called Evil Tunes. He was the landlord of that house in that movie.
Yeah.
Which that movie's crazy, by the way. I think that I'm pretty sure that David Carradine did it just so he could get money to buy Coke. But anyway, that's another story altogether. So the women attempt to escape through the air vent, but that one girl panics and wants to go back into the mall, which is crazy. So anyway, and then at the end of the post-credit scene, you have a fourth unknown protector robot that comes in and says the catchphrase, "Have a nice day," one last time. And yeah, every time the robot kills somebody, he says, "Have a nice day. Have a nice day."
Yep.
So anyway, the film scholar, let's see if I can find out the janitor's name here. I can't remember the actor's name all of a sudden.
Dick Miller.
Oh, Dick Miller. Okay. Yeah, that's the guy we're talking about. He's been in so many horror movies and movies like that where he dies pretty quick. Analysis of the film says that by film scholar Craig Ian Mann compares the film favorably to George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead, which was released in 1978, which was also set in a shopping mall, which he classifies as an anti-capitalist parable for the Jimmy Carter years, suggesting that shopping mall functions in a similar way as a comment on consumption during the Reagan era. Mann suggests that the robots in the film, even when malfunctioning, serve as mechanical enforcers of workplace discipline and capitalist interests. That's an interesting take on it. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
It's Roger Corman movie. I don't think it's that deep. Julie Corman, of course, I believe she was married. She's the widow of Roger Corman at this point. He passed away. She had a deal with Vestron to make a horror film that took place in a mall. See? So there was already a deal in place. They had a mall. They wanted to make a movie at a mall. So Jim Wynorski agreed to write one cheaply if he could direct it. Wynorski wrote the script with Steve Mitchell, whom he had known since the 1970s, when they met at conventions for EC Comics. So there's your comic, comic book tie-in, and became friends. They decided to do a Phantom of the Mall type movie, and Mitchell says it was Wynorski's idea to feature robots. Wynorski said he was inspired by the 1954 film Gog, as you see here. He claims, and Gog was probably about robots too, I'm assuming. He claims he never saw the 1973 film titled Trapped, which some believe inspired Chopping Mall. Mitchell says that they wrote up the story in 24 hours and sent it to Julie Corman. They banged out this script in 24 hours. Oh my God. Sent to Julie Corman, Vestron gave their approval within a week despite lack of a script. The script took around 4 or 5 weeks to write. So they wrote up the story in 24 hours. And they wrote the screenplay. Okay, that makes more sense. Wynorski says Roger Corman was nothing but supportive from the get-go, and he loved the idea. Wynorski said Kelly Maroney was cast because, quote, I had seen Kelly in a couple of movies, and I wanted to date her. So I figured the one way to make that happen was to put her in a movie. Hey, that's pretty cool, I guess. But that's Kelly right there. You can find a picture of her. That's in more modern times. She replaced Dana Kimmel, who had been cast on the strength of her performance in the Chuck Norris movie Lone Wolf McQuade. But Dana did not want to do anything that was sexual, according to Mitchell. So Jim was very quick to say, well, she's out. Let's get Kelly, who was pretty much game for anything. Carrie Emerson also replaced someone else. It doesn't say who. The script was full of in-jokes, writing in characters from movies like Bucket of Blood and Eating Raoul. The writers got the actors from the films, Dick Miller, Mary Woronov, and Paul Bartel to be cameos. Mitchell wanted John Terlesky to play the hero, Rick Stanton, but Wynorski wanted Russell Todd. Terlesky played the part of Mike Brennan. Chopping Mall also acts as a debut film for Rodney Eastman, who later went on to star in A Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors and Nightmare on Elm Street 4 The Dream Master. According to Mitchell, Wynorski provided the voices of the Killbots as well. I didn't know that. Okay, so Wynorski says Roger Corman took him out to lunch before making the film. He bought a yellow pad, and after lunch, he said, this here is what you got to do, he said. And he gave me a film school. He taught me film school in like an hour. Everything I learned in film school didn't count. But what he said made a lot of sense, and I still have the yellow pad, and I live by that to this day. I now have it memorized. There's many do's and there's many don'ts. I'd like to see that. I'd like to read that yellow pad.
Yeah, me too.
The film was intended to be shot on location at the Beverly Center, but the production was unable to afford their fee. Instead, the majority of filming took place in the Sherman Oaks Galleria, where also, notably, that was also where Fast Times at Ridgemont High and Commando had scenes shot. So the scene where they're at the mall with Schwarzenegger and he picks up that phone booth sweater and throws it at him, and he meets Ray Dong Chong, and then the mall where all the kids were at Fast Time at Ridgemont High, same mall, Sherman Oaks Galleria. The Beverly Center was used for the exterior shots instead, but they used the Sherman Oaks Galleria Mall for the interior. Mitchell later recalls that I think we both felt a pretty fair amount of pressure when we started. You know what? Before I read that, now that I think about it, watching this movie, that mall looked very familiar. I kept looking at watching that going, this shopping mall looks very familiar to me. I thought it was just because, every mall looked like that. But yeah, apparently that's why I thought it was familiar. So anyway, Mitchell later recalls, I think we both felt a pretty fair amount of pressure when we started shooting. It was Julie's picture, but it was still Roger's company, and he was the bottom line. We both very much wanted to make him happy, he says. The specter of Roger Corman loomed large for the first couple of days, but after the second or third day, Corman said they were doing a very fine job. So there was a collective sigh of relief on our part. I don't think, have they not watched some of Roger Corman's movies? I don't think he was worried about it being perfect, but anyway, that's just me. Wynorski said that Bartel and Woronov ad-libbed the bulk of their parts. It was released on March 21st, 1986. No, okay, that was when it was the screened. The test screen was March 21st, 1986, and that's when the title was Killbots. And then after that, they decided to change the name to Chopping Mall, and it was theatrically released in Pittsburgh on September 5th, 1986, and in New York City on November 14th, 1986. You notice how they always use like cities like Pittsburgh to like sometimes for movies like this, like bring them out.
Yeah.
Before they put them in New York. Anyway,
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, I agree with you.
Okay. On the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, 55% of 11 critics' reviews are positive. Metacritic, which uses a weighted average, assigned the film a score of 22 out of 100 based on 4 critics, indicating generally unfavorable reviews. There's an alternate version of this film that exists. There's at least 2 different versions of the film exist. The TV cut has some extra footage, such as a small homage to Attack of the Crab Monsters, and an extended scene of Ferdy Mazel, played by Tony O'Dell, and Allison Park, played by Maroney, watching TV, and some aerial shots, and an extension of one of Ferdy and Allison's scenes. No official source offers this version. In home video, it was the film was released on VHS in the United States by the Vestron sublabel Lightning Video in 1987. 2004 with special features including a featurette, commentary, still gallery, and trailer. And in 2012 as part of an 8 horror film DVD box set. It was released for the first time on Blu-ray 27, 2016. It's part of Lionsgate's new Vestron Video Collector Series, Inc. Wynorski later said the film did okay when it was released in theaters. It got some okay reviews and did decent business, but it really found a life on VHS and cable. That's when it really was embraced. That's true. Usually, and usually that's true for a lot of these movies.
Yeah,
is that like once they found a home video, So what do you guys think?
I think I'm glad to find it on Blu-ray. I didn't know it was on Blu-ray.
I like the. You know why I like to get the Blu-rays for the special features.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah,
they might be available. There's another website that.
I was going to say, I
Von Hoop
remember.
turned me on to it. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say,
Go ahead.
I remember when I was looking up the digital, to try to watch it. I actually looked to see if you could buy it on Fandango, and it wasn't on there. So I mean, then I found it on Tubi.
Now I know
Yeah,
that Dr. Von Hoop turned me on to this one website called Vinegar Syndrome.
Yeah.
And you can order movies from there, like obscure Blu-rays.
I actually found on
So
Amazon
maybe
for
it can be on there.
I found on Amazon for $23.92.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yep.
All right, Robert. Going back to work. Yeah. Collector P, you're right. She was also in Night of the Comet. And I loved her in Night of the Comet. And she had a little cheerleader outfit on, and she's firing a Uzi everywhere. I don't know. It was kind of a cool aesthetic. She's wearing a cheerleader outfit, firing a Mac 10. Anyway, okay. I'm sorry. I lost track of my thoughts there. But yeah, you know what? A lot of these movies, though, nowadays, they don't get the second life they used to. But now it's kind of like instead of like direct to video rental or like they make the video rental, they just go straight to like streaming.
Yeah.
Or like a streaming place will be like, hey, we'll pay you for that. Or they'll go to some place like, now I guess what you would call the local video shop where you rent cheesy or low budget horror films is just like Shudder or one of those streaming services now.
Yeah. Screenbox. Yeah.
Screenbox. Oh, I like Shudder and Screenbox. And okay, thanks for that, John. I see that link. I'll copy that and paste it later. All right, there we go. They're here. The Poltergeist. I can't wait to do that one. But anyway, would you guys like to watch? You got anything to say before we watch any video clips? Anybody got anything to add before we?
Roll that.
To my defense, I fell asleep. I didn't watch the movie, so this will be new for me.
I was going to say,
Okay,
roll
well.
that beautiful robot killing footage.
All right. Well, we got the two girls here in the pizzeria, and I think maybe this line right here. You know how they were saying there was a lot of inside jokes in the movie. I think this may be one because they do it. These girls mentioned the same thing twice in the movie.
Hey, would I set you up with a slime dog or something? No way, babe. It is babe, isn't it?
Come on, take a while.
But anyway, so they work in the, and then you got the guy. I like the guy that says, "This guy right here cracks me up." Because he's just like, ain't nobody, hey, and watch out putting your hand in front of this guy if you're serving him food, because you might come back with a nub.
Waitress, more butter.
Waitress, more butter. And you see the lightning in the back. That's what comes back later on. But anyway, at the first of it, we were talking about like they're playing a demo video demonstrating what these robots can do, the protectors or whatever they call them. And so they had this actor like being tased by
Stop
them.
right there and surrender your weapon.
Now you say.
Drop right there and surrender your weapon. And then we got the boys. Then we meet the boys in the furniture shop. And they're all sitting around, and they're like, well, they're wanting to talk the one guy in because his uncle owns I think his uncle owns the furniture store. And they're like, oh, well, come on, man, we got a party. These movies always have these guys trying to talk the kind of nerdy conservative guy into partying with them. They go, oh, we'll find you a girl.
Oh, fuck the future. It's Friday. Tell the old bag to wait.
What was happening was the guy was like looking for the fuchsia colored what do you call them, swatch or whatever they call them. Where this woman was looking for like a furniture with that color. He's like, fuck the fuchsia. And but we have also, they show you like if you hold your ID badge up, the robot's supposed to recognize it and go, okay, you're free to go. And you'll see that kind of in this clip.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Same to you.
And you'll hear that thank you, have a nice day a lot in this movie, especially after they kill somebody, which is crazy. Jay said that I remember this movie. There are two big reasons I watched it a second time. I think I know what you're talking about. I can't really show a clip of those two reasons on this show because we're on YouTube and we don't want to get like taken down. So anyway, we got some more clips here. I don't know. This one just says you smell like something. This is a tag on the clip I put.
Smell like pepperoni.
Well, if that's the way you feel.
Wait a minute.
What?
I like pepperoni.
And then she starts like, oh, well, in that case, and she starts taking her shirt off and starts singing this. I guess what is it? What is she humming? The pepperoni song or something? Like, what was that line about? Like, well, in that case, if you like the smell of pepperoni, here, check out these pepperonis. I don't know. And Nerdy said the robots, I guess he's talking about the robots, are ancestors of ED 209.
Yeah, Ed 209 from RoboCop.
Okay, Ed 209. Yeah. You mean
footage.
the one that said you have 5 minutes, you have 2 seconds to comply?
Yeah.
I got that. I got the toy up here. I had the robot. I still have it. The robot. Remember the old RoboCop toys, Tony?
Yeah.
And they had like the old caps, from a cap gun. You could put it in the back of it and flip it, and it would fire. Act like it was fired. Yeah. You still having like phone issues, Jay? Sorry to hear that, man. Okay, let's go on. I love watching these clips, by the way. We got two more of these, two of the lovely ladies in the film. I thought the girls played good damsels in distress, but like they also decided, they didn't want them to be just like running away. Some of them were actually fighting back. I remember watching this movie when I was a kid, and I really liked the main character, the blonde-headed girl, because I remember her from Night of the Comet. I always thought she was pretty. And the brunette girl, because I remember seeing her. I don't know what else she was in, but I remember seeing her in a lot of movies. in the 80s, like horror movies like this. But anyway, let's play a clip between the two of the
Why do I
ladies.
have the feeling I'm going to regret this in the morning? Look, Allison, you've had yourself a very rough...
So, and she, you know what? Her feeling was spot on that she was going to, but you know what it is? This is like the typical horror film trope is like, okay, she's the good girl that doesn't do stuff like this usually. And she feels bad that she's lying to her dad when she calls her dad to tell her she's staying at her friend's house. And it's like, kind of like the same thing with like, you know, in a Halloween, you know, Laurie Strode, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, is the perfect ideal babysitter that every kid would want. She's attentive. She helps them carve a jack-o'-lantern and watches scary movies with them. Actually watches the kids, doesn't leave them abandoned, so she can fool around with her boyfriend. And she's the only one that survives. So, and so the two nerds in the movie. Hey, it pays to be a nerd, Tony. If you're in a horror film, it pays to be a nerd. So, yeah, go ahead. I'm talking.
No, I was just saying, I agree with you always. It always pays to be a nerd.
And okay, play this clip. This is I don't know. It's just titled "Hey Babe."
Hey, babe. It is babe, isn't it?
That's the second time they use the "Hey Babe." It is babe, isn't it? And then we got another clip here. It's called "Let's Go Send."
Let's go send those fuckers a Rambogram.
Let's go send those suckers. You know, I like it has a store in it where you can go buy assault rifles. Isn't that hilarious? I don't know if I remember. Actually, there was a mall in Harlan, Kentucky I used to go to, and they actually had a gun store in it. And I always thought that was odd. That's the only time I've ever seen a gun shop. Well, no, I'll take that back. Because I was at a big mall in Louisville, Kentucky one time. They had like a big outdoor world or something kind of place in it. But anyway, so they go and buy a bunch of M16s. Though they don't buy them. They go take a bunch of M16s out of the local gun shop. And anyway, let's play some more clips here. Actually, the guns really don't do much to them, do they? They managed to take one down, but it's like, look. And like, you know, they have like these propane tanks that blow up. They don't do nothing to it. But apparently that one guy just rams a golf cart into it. And it just blows up. So I guess that was what they needed to do, was just ram it with a golf cart, although he sacrificed himself when he does it. But here's another clip.
Nice shot.
And we got another clip.
Sure you know how to shoot that?
Yeah. Saw Dirty Harry 24 times. All set.
See, he knows how to shoot it. He watched Dirty Harry 24 times. So, and you know, there's a lot of references to other movies in this movie, isn't there?
Yeah.
Like they talk about Dirty Harry, Rambo. They're watching Attack of the 50-Foot Tarantula. But anyway, all right. They got another one. This is okay, we got a few more clips. I'll almost save the "Have a Nice Day" one for later.
Computer, huh? Let's go trash the fucker.
Let's go crash the fucker.
And they're always like, yeah, let's.
Hey, Jeff. Hey, Jeff's here. Good to see you, Jeff. Yeah, they're gonna crash the fucker. And now this is where this one's titled "Laser Malfunction," so we'll play that clip.
Malfunction. Detect intruder. Detect intruder. Laser malfunction. Laser malfunction.
You know, I saw the voice. Does it not sound like the what do you call the robots in Doctor Who? They kind of sound like the robots in Doctor Who. The Daleks. Yeah, they kind of sound. And we got another clip here. I can't play the whole one because it's 21 seconds. We'll play the first 8 seconds.
Linda, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you.
It's all right. It's not you, Ferdy.
And then we got another one. How much do you something? I don't know what this one's about. We'll just
Forgot. How much do I owe you for the beer?
Forget it, man. We get out of here, you owe me a 6-pack. Just make sure those cords are good and tight.
I still didn't know what they were trying to do with the propane tanks, but it didn't seem to work. What they should have done was what you should have done is take the propane tank and see. I was thinking about this. I thought this through. If they had the propane tanks and the weapons, I'd have took the M16. I'd have had, if it was us three, I would have had one of you guys. We would have rolled the tank right at it, and when it rolled at its feet, shoot the tank. Right?
Do they do that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't work though.
Yeah. The first time they did it and it didn't work.
Maybe they should have rolled more of them at it. I don't know. We should have had like a triangulated or something. I don't know. Or like had it lined up and then when it ran into them, I don't know. I thought it would have worked, but I must have been like looking at the computer when that happened, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, so it doesn't work. They try to blow up the propane tanks. Doesn't seem to work.
Nice shot.
Dad's a Marine.
Now, the interesting about that quote, I'm going to play that one more time.
Nice shot.
Dad's a Marine.
Interesting enough, in the movie Night of the Comet that she's also in, her and her sister know how to shoot machine guns. And the guy said, "How do you know how to shoot?" And their dad was a Marine in that movie too. So they kind of use the same. I wonder if she kind of ad-libbed that because maybe she had that in the back of her head because of the last movie she'd done, and it was kind of the same situation. They're in like a similar almost type situation.
Yeah.
Where these teenagers have to use machine guns. So she's like, "Okay, my dad's a Marine."
Yeah.
All right, we got 3 more clips, and then we'll talk some more about it.
Robot blood.
That's when they first kill one of them. He's like, "What is that?" And the one guy has never seen them, I guess.
Greg, you're not thinking, man. We got this far by staying together.
And a lot of good that did Susie, right?
Yeah, so now he's wanting to just like screw the plan, you know. And we don't want to. But the girl's kind of screwed up too. They're almost home free, and the one girl is like, "No, I gotta go back. I gotta go back." You know, sorry. I think I would have like, I don't know, but I mean, she was thinking of her boyfriend though. So I mean, you know. But anyway, it gets down to the point, and then like, what's his name? I can't remember his name. It's such a weird name. She thinks he's killed, right? Kelly thinks he got killed, so she's running. She hides in a pet store. And by the way, the robot for this technological robot, it sure as bumps into a lot of shit in that pet store. And also, I noticed how like whoever stocked the pet store was like, yeah, just put the aquarium with the tarantulas on that little shaky cat toy thing. Yeah, just put it on the cat bed. Just put it up there precariously so it'll fall over easily, and the tarantulas will just run everywhere. Yeah, they're just putting like tarantulas and snakes all over the place where they don't, where they'll just easily be knocked over. And so she finally is being chased by the robot, and she has earlier. The girls are in the hardware store and they get a bunch of gas cans they try to make Molotov cocktails out of. I probably shouldn't use that word online because now they're probably going to say we're terrorists or something. But anyway, nobody's watching. I don't think it'll be. I think it'll be all right. But she takes a road flare and sticks it down her shirt and forgets she has it. I guess because she could have used it when they were throwing the tanks of gas at something. But whatever. But anyway, so she remembers at the end she has it, right? So she tricks the robot into crashing into the hardware store with all the flammable stuff, and it gets stuck in the paint. All the paint knocks down because there's like a paint display in the front window at the mall, at the store. And it crashes in there, and then she throws the flare, and this is the last. This is where they kill the last robot.
Have a nice day.
And she says, "Have a nice day." Let's play it again.
Have a nice day.
And if you don't know, it's like, and every time the robots kill somebody, they say, "Have a nice day." And it kind of reminds me of the movie that came out in the 90s. Remember Mars Attacks, where they're like, "I come in peace." We come in peace.
Yeah.
But that was the last clip, you know. I don't know, guys. So I'll go around the horn here. And John, what do you think? I know you haven't seen it, but based on the clips you saw and what we said about it, what is your assessment of this film, John?
Well, you see, the thing is that I'm trying to figure out if James Cameron was working for Corman in those days, because
yeah,
the production is not really up there. I mean, you look at the robots there, and I mean,
well, the one thing
I
about
think
Robert,
they lacked a lot of budget when they built those robots, because
oh yeah, it was a shoestring budget. But also, you know, the thing, it's funny you mentioned that about James Cameron working for Roger Corman. Roger Corman is one of these guys that, you know, people kind of joke about his films and everything, but he helped a lot of people in Hollywood get their start.
Yep.
You know, James Cameron started there. Jack Nicholson started doing his movies first, where he was before he became the Jack Nicholson we all know and love today. Peter Fonda, all these guys, like a lot of these directors, like you know, not Spielberg, but I was not Spielberg, because Spielberg kind of started out a different route. But
and Cameron met his first wife there, I think.
Yeah, Cameron and his first wife both worked for Roger Corman, and countless other filmmakers worked for Corman. So yeah, it's but you know, I mean, it is what it is. This movie's a fun movie to watch, especially during October.
I might call it a popcorn movie.
Yeah, I have fond memories of just because of the. I remember the box art for the movie going in the VHS store. I always remember it because it's odd though, because it's got like a robotic hand, and but you never see like a cyborg, like human looking thing. I don't know why they showed that in it, but we got Jeff saying he gives it 2 wings. Yeah, we give it like 1 to 5 wings. I give it about 3, honestly. But Tony, what is your assessment of this film?
Well, I like the concept idea. I love the robots. I love the way the robots were built. I'm just a little biased, I guess. I loved how we got a couple. You know, it seems like a lot of the actresses, when you look up their Wikipedia or whatever, they were in other horror movies. Like one of the other blondes was in Puppet Master. Russell Todd was in Friday the 13th Part 2. He played Ted. He was the guy that hung upside down and got killed by Jason.
And the other guy was in Part 3 and 4. Yeah.
Mary Warnoff was also in Night of the Comet, and she played the Chandler in Warlock. She was the one that channeled him as spirit in Warlock.
Yeah, in the shop, right? The occult shop, right? He walks in there, and I remember that scene. Yeah.
As soon as I seen her sitting there with that dude, I went, "That's the chick from Warlock." As I automatically knew who it was.
Yeah.
And when I seen the Russell guy, I went, "I've seen him before." He played that practical joke kid in Part 2. And then, of course, you know, you got the guy that played the janitor. He played Mr. Futterman in Gremlins. So a lot of great, you know.
And I can't remember the one actor's name, but he was in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3 and 4.
Yeah. I was trying to, when you mentioned that, I was trying to picture who was in both of them. But it had to be one of the, I guess it was the kid that played Joey. I don't know. But overall, going back and watching the movie again, because I hadn't watched it in 30 years, I loved it then. I still love it now. So I'm giving it a 3.5. I love that freaking movie.
I'll give it about a 3.5 as well. I have fond memories of it because I remember watching this, like, you know, back in the day, on those weekends, TBS and TNT would play movies like this, or maybe what's his name, Joe Bob Briggs would play a movie like this on Monster Vision.
I'm gonna have to reserve my my grade until I watch the movie.
Okay, well, we'll just you can make a comment on the video later. Just let us know what you think.
I will point out one thing about the robots. It's very important that you have your robots funded by the U.S. government. And I say that because in Chopping Mall, they get struck by lightning and turn into murderous little robots. But if you're funded by the federal government, like in Short Circuit, you get struck by lightning and you become sentient and you're alive. Anyway.
And anyway, it's also like, you know, I think these are like the evil twin brothers of Johnny Five. Definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they all have lasers and stuff and all that stuff. And like, he's got like, they got the little taser. It's actually also like a take on like, so we're worried about now, you know, like you see this. Yeah, here we go. Louis like
Number
5 is alive. And remember next week on the October 7th, my boy Freaky Louis will be the guy that made my video intro that we played at the first of the show. He will be my guest on Comic Conversations. And that's going to be a blast. I can't wait for that. I've been having a lot of fun with that Comic Conversation show, but I'm having a lot of fun with these shows too, with these movie shows. I'm so glad I got to credit my friend Joe, Crazy Hungarian. Me and him kind of came up with the idea, and his work schedule's kind of made it to where he can't really be on the show much. So I'm going to ask everybody in the chat. We got 4 people in the chat, and I got the people on the panel here. Guys, do you think I should start scheduling Bad Cinema for in the evening, like later at night?
Well, for Halloween.
Yeah, for Halloween, I'd use Halloween as a test case. If it works for you, then go forward. If not, then go back to the original.
Yeah, Louis, I can't wait, man. We'll see you there, man.
I was going to ask a question about this movie. Did anybody get Dawn of the Dead vibes?
Yes, that's what we were talking about. Remember when I read that one part? I remember the Wikipedia.
Yeah, that's right.
It was like, and I was like, they're trapped in a mall, and it's like a thing about consumerism.
Yeah,
in America,
right.
in a way, you know. But also, you know, with that technology thing, you know how they have like the company. I think you know, everybody's heard of DARPA, the government funded organization that comes up with all this technology for the Army and the military. And also, there's a place called Boston Dynamics that has created these like 4-legged like robotic dogs that can fire flamethrowers. They can attach machine guns to them. And so we're kind of like in that kind of area now. And if you like to get on not to get in a real serious note about it, is that, but like, you know, like if you watch if you've watched any of the footage on X or on YouTube from what's happened in Ukraine, the way the war is being fought now is with drones.
Yeah.
You know, and like, so it's like drone on drone fighting, or drones fighting tanks or spotting people. So technology's kind of getting that way. And I don't know if we're maybe moving too far ahead too quick, but you know, the problem is with technology and with human beings, they're always coming up with a more efficient way to kill somebody.
Yeah.
So there's that kind of theme too with it. It's like how far, and we're talking about AI now and generative AI and using it for like defense systems. And it's an old theme in sci-fi. This goes back to the 70s. Mm-hmm. And like even in the early 80s and before this movie came out, Terminator.
Yeah, I was going to say we got
AI. Yeah.
I was going to say we got like 6 movies about why AI taking over the military is a bad idea.
I'll also remember War Games that came out about the same time.
Yeah, you're right.
Would you like to play a game?
Yeah.
And Louis says, I think that nighttime is best because of all the time zones come together. That you're probably right, Louis. We're gonna. I think Halloween is going to be kind of the test case for that. But I'll have to probably move. I'd have to move Good Cinema to probably Friday because of the Thursday night hangout. But I'm going to say that too. Now, the week of the actual Halloween, I think the Comic Lounge is probably going to be like at 9:00 on a Wednesday night or something. Or maybe Friday night. I don't know yet. So we'll figure that out. Or it might not have one that week. I don't know. I think we're going to have like the Halloween review might just be like the go into the Comic Lounge or something. You know what I mean? We might just do that.
Yeah, I know you said something before about doing the Good Cinema that week on Wednesday.
Yeah. So I might do that, but like because I know the 30th is going to be the Thursday, so we'll see. Either way, we'll do it.
That's right. I keep forgetting Halloween's on Friday. Never mind.
Yeah, and but anyway, yeah, I got to get my assessment is this movie is like I said, just a fun movie back in the day. You know, it's like one of the movies you see when you go like every October. I remember when I was a kid, especially when it got closer to Halloween. we'd go in there, and my mom would let me rent like 5 or 10 horror movies because usually the old releases they would let you have for like 50 cents a rental or $1 or whatever it was, or they'd have some kind of deal like you rent 5, you get 5 movies for $5 or 10 movies for whatever, and especially the local video store, like I'm talking like the old school mom and pop video rental place where you go in there and there's a tanning bed in the back.
Yeah.
And then there's like the room with the beads over it. This is adults only, which I remember wandering into that place on accident. Like, what is this room? And nobody saw me. They leave you unattended. I wandered in for a minute, and you see all the art on them boxes for those movies, and they're like, "Holy shit! What the hell am I looking at? I'm scared. I got to get it." That's when I was only like a little kid, though. I didn't know what I was looking at. So, yeah, you're like, "Oh my God, what is this?" That's how you got sex education back then.
Yeah.
What is Debbie doing in Dallas? That's what I wanted to know. All right. Oh, we got another guest here.
Well, for you.
Hey, madam.
The one that it comes in soft.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah. Well, my assessment though is like it's a fun movie to watch with your friends or talk about. Yeah, that National Geographic magazine. Yeah, and
yeah.
The Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. Before I ever saw a Playboy or anything like that, it was Kathy Ireland. The Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. I'll never forget that. I still like Kathy. All right.
Don't forget the Sears catalog.
Oddly enough, the Sears catalog. Yeah. Oddly enough, though, I still have a Playboy, the Playboy with Drew Barrymore on the cover.
I got a few.
One that's got like the little Playboy bunny shirt on. Yeah, I still got that one somewhere.
And if we go back to the relationship to comic books, you could always say that we learned a little bit with Vampirella, because Vampirella, even though it was black and white,
surprised. I'm surprised that there has not been an indie company. I'm surprised that indie comic hasn't tried to do a comic of this. And I'm also surprised there's no comics of Night of the Comet. That would be a great comic book series.
Well, I was gonna say give them time because we got you got comic companies now doing stuff on Silent Night, Deadly Night, and Happy. They call it something else, but it was for My Bloody Valentine. So I would be surprised if somewhere down the line you'd see a Night of the Comet or a Killer Clowns from Outer Space or a Chopping Mall or.
Happy birthday to
and
me.
I have some announcements. I've already set the schedule for next week for Halloween, for the continuation of Halloween month. And I would like to share next week's bad cinema and good cinema films. So next Monday at 12:30 p.m. or Eastern, or whenever we can get everybody together, because I'd like to have people come on for these movies especially. We will be talking about The Howling Part 2, Your Sister is a Werewolf. So I can't wait for that. That movie is just a fun movie to watch. It's insane. At the end of it, the very voluptuous, I can't remember her name, but she's a very beautiful, voluptuous lady. She's a scene where she rips her shirt off and she's topless. And the director deemed it necessary at the end title sequence of the movie to show her taking her top off like 50 times. And I reckon the actress was really pissed off he did that. But I don't blame her. But, he's like, I guess that's what's going to sell the movie. And I used to watch the end credit scene to Howling 2 all the time. That's all I'm going to say. And then we'll go on to Thursday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, and we will be watching Poltergeist, directed by Tobe Hooper. So, and produced by Steven Spielberg. And I kind of like what I did with the graphic there. You see how I made it look like the same color as the Poltergeist title? I was kind of proud of that one. All right. It looks like it's the same as the TV static. So that's next week. And then tomorrow, this is not going to do with the bad or good cinema, but oh yeah, and I guess I should tell you what's this Thursday for good cinema. So Thursday for good cinema at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, we'll be reviewing Bram Stoker's Dracula, directed by Francis Ford Coppola, and starring one of the greatest actors of his generation or any generation, Gary Oldman. And just a reminder that here is the full schedule for what's coming up in the coming weeks, the coming days for Halloween month. So that's going to be a fun. We got some fun movies for good and bad cinema.
I'm looking forward to Halloween.
Yeah, I'm actually. You know what else I'm looking forward to? I believe there's going to be a lot of good conversations around another few of these movies, especially Howling Part 2, Trick or Treat, Sleepaway Camp, and Return of the Living Dead. Actually, I can't wait for Return of the Living Dead because Return of the Living Dead was actually, the film takes place in Louisville, Kentucky.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that's kind of the hometown kind of. I don't know if they filmed it there, but it was in the movie was set in. I'll have to look into that. Yeah, E.T. is technically a Halloween movie. Yeah, I thought about that, but I also thought about also considered like Young Frankenstein and Ghostbusters. I considered Ghostbusters maybe as a possibility for a Halloween because they're busting ghosts. But we've already set the schedule this year. But next year, the limits, and maybe maybe next month we'll do a good and bad cinema every dang day because I love Halloween. I'm sorry, it's one of my favorite holidays.
I love Halloween too.
You do.
And oh yeah, by the way, like I said, Halloween it's not going to be Halloween. It's going to be on the 30th when we do Halloween. It's going to be at 9:00 at night or 8:00. Okay. And I expect everybody to show up in a costume.
Well, I was going to say for the Halloween episode, I'm not trying to put any pressure on Adam. I'm not going to try to put any pressure on Adam. But I truly believe, and with all my heart, that on the Halloween episode, I think Lucy should show up.
I show up as Lucy. Shit. Thank you.
We got Lucy on the wall over here too. But
I haven't been Lucy in a while, so that would be fun. I'm gonna do a Lady Death extravaganza with Lady Prime sometime in October too.
Oh,
so
cool.
I'll be Lady Death too.
That sounds good. And also, I think when I do the Comic Lounge closer to Halloween, I think we'll do Comic Lounge on Halloween night instead. I think that sounds cool. And we'll be showing comic covers of horror movies and scary stuff and horror comics and all kinds of cool shit. Vampirella comics, all the good stuff. The usual.
Tony's going to be dressed up for both nights, different costumes.
Ooh.
Woo!
Okay, I can do different costumes too.
I don't have a costume, so
I'm probably going to be Jason Voorhees.
I was going to say I'll probably do Michael since we're doing Halloween for good cinema. That I'll do Michael for that, and then on the Comic Lounge, my homemade character Mentian will show up.
Oh.
Hey, I know what I'm going to do for Halloween. I'm going to dress like Dr. Loomis.
You got to, Dr. Loomis. If you're going to do Michael,
and we need somebody to dress. One of the guys has to wear, at least for a minute, the ghost sheet with the glasses on. Like where the guy that wears and they think it's Michael Myers is under it. And then he goes, yeah. Somebody's got to do that too.
I don't know if I have a ghost sheet.
Maybe I can find one. There's a couple of secondhand stores.
Is John, you can dress as Laurie Strode. I'm just kidding.
See, I got the glasses.
I'm just kidding.
I got the glasses, but
Here. Woo!
Feels weird with me wearing glasses.
But maybe I can find a white sheet. I'm pretty sure I can find a white sheet.
Cool. Louis got a Halloween tree. That's awesome.
I remember pulling up a picture. Go ahead.
Hey, madam, did you see the video that Louis made for me?
No.
Okay, he made a custom intro for me.
He did an intro for you?
You know the song. You know the song. You remember the movie Superfly? There's a song on it called "Push Your Man." He goes, "Push your man."
Push man, yeah.
Well, he did it differently. This one's called "Comic Man."
I'm for hire, I'm a seller, I'm a buyer. Conversations with me in my lounge as we scream. You know me, Matt Morgan, subject board, follow him. I'm the comic man. I'm the comic man.
I love it, but where am I?
We'll get him to do it. We'll get him to do a re-edit. We'll get him to do a re-edit.
That was
Heroes
awesome.
Con. You know what I thought about doing with the photos from Heroes Con was like making a collage and like putting it on the wall, you know, next to the picture. I mean, the comic everybody signed. You know, we had such a good time. I can't wait till next year. We're getting an Airbnb and we're going to party like it's 1999. All right,
You know.
I'm showing my age when I say party like 1999, ain't I? But anyway, hopefully Louis will come back. Louis will be back. Hopefully Louis and Madam will be back next year, and Tony will be there in 2027. He said.
I will try. If I do really well with art, then I can come back. But here's my boyfriend right now. I don't think I can do this now. Bye, you guys. Sorry.
Okay, bye. Well, we're getting ready to end anyway, so.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go anyways because I need to go shopping again.
But I had fun with this one. This is it's been a good. It's a good Halloween month. Is off to a good start, I think. Also, before we go, I'm going to tell everybody else what I got going on tomorrow. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, another episode of Comic Conversations, and we got another great guest. Last week it was Phil's Treehouse. Next week it's Freaky Louie, but this week I have Geek Out with Roscoe. Roscoe will be here. I can't wait to see some of his cool art. I love his take. I love some of his sketch covers. He has some very outside the box art that he does for like comic covers, and I can't wait for that. So that should be fun. And of course, you know, like I said, you got the good and bad cinema. And then also, don't forget the Sunday Super Show Extravaganza, 6 p.m. Eastern on Sunday evening. And we'll be previewing the new comic books, like the new Marvel Knights series, written and drawn by Dan Panosian. So I don't know if it's written by him, but all the art's by Dan Panosian. Yeah, Roscoe is very cool brother. I love him. I met him at Heroes Con for the first time. That's when I met Louis for the first time. And love you guys, man. Yeah, all my brothers now. All my brothers and sisters in the comic book world. That's why I love YouTube, guys. If it hadn't been for YouTube, I wouldn't have met none of you beautiful people. So, and it's good for my mental health, to be honest with you. I know it sounds, some people are like, oh, come on, it's just YouTube. But no, it's true.
Mental health is important.
Yes, it is. And it is Suicide Prevention Month. So, yeah, love you, man. I love you. Love you, Louis. Can't wait till next year. I hope we'll get some hang out a little bit more. He only was there for like a day last year, but it was a pretty awesome day. Okay. I guess that's it. We'll close out. But remember this before we go. As I always say, just because it's bad doesn't mean it's not any good.
Come, son of Jarrell! Kneel before Zod! Snoochie boochies.